Now, I'm sure you've heard of the famous quote from the famous Zig Ziglar. You know, he made millions of dollars. And his famous quote was, "You can have everything you want in life if you're just willing to help enough other people get what they want." Everybody's heard that, I'm sure you have too, and it works, and it's true. But you may have tried it to some extent and you say, "It didn't work for me." Well, old Zig even had a system he used to actually implement that saying, and many people have heard that since. But very few people have ever seen Zig's blueprints that he used to implement that saying that made all those millions of dollars. So even though everybody has heard the saying that you can get everything you want, if you just help enough other people get what they want, not many people have actually seen the blueprint from the man himself, from Zig Ziglar, the man who created or who wrote whatever you want to say it is Zig Ziglar said. And so anyway, I'm going to show you the actual blueprint from the big man himself, from Zig Ziglar. I know you needed to start making money like yesterday. So instead of showing you that typical garbage, most people show you that doesn't work. I'm going to show you the real authentic stuff that has quietly been making massive fortunes for people like myself, Dan Kennedy, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, and many of students of mine. But even more important than all that money, I'm going to show you how to create that ultimate lifestyle that you've been seeking. I'm going to show you how to have the life that you were put here on earth to live. Now, before I begin, let's get this one question out of the way. Why should you listen to me? Well, here's a good reason for starters. I've been generating multiple six-figure incomes for nearly 2 decades, and unlike most entrepreneurs that are teaching these days, I did it all online for the past 2 decades. I've built not one, but 2 multi-million-dollar businesses online. I've been paid $20,000 for a half day to simply basically give my advice to the marketing department for some pretty big companies out there, and I was once paid $62,000 to simply write a sales letter for an online pharmaceutical company. Over the past 2 decades, I've routinely been paid in 1 hour more than many people make in an entire year of working full-time at their day job. But in reality, as you probably know, I'm actually nobody special. So I'm not telling you all these things to brag or to tell you how much more success I've had than others. My only goal is to get you some information that I think is going to make a big difference in your life. I'm here to let you know that I understand how to create systems, and it's those systems that I create that actually generate the millions and millions and millions of dollars that I've generated over the last 17 years. It's not me. It's the systems that I build that do it for me. Those systems have given myself and my family a multi-million-dollar lifestyle. Simply put, I found a method that works, and I've used that same system to build multi-million-dollar online companies like clockwork for nearly 2 decades now. So I'm not talking about things that are here today and gone tomorrow. You know, those sort of gimmicks like you see all over the internet, those flash in the pans. As you know, you've got to be careful who you trust these days and who you follow. The business model I use and the systems that I use are what are known as evergreen. Meaning, they work today, tomorrow, next year, the year after that, the same way they worked yesterday, last month, last year, and the decade before that. They don't change. They're not based on some sort of temporary little strategy on Google or Facebook or Craigslist or any gimmick or fad. They are time-tested and proven, and they stand the test of time. My systems and business models work through bad economies and good economies, including this current burnt economy. If you're one of the few people who take this stuff serious like me, you want to base your family's financial future on a business model, and on systems that are solid like a rock, not those that are here today and gone tomorrow. You know, those types of fads and gimmicks that are littering the internet right now. I've used this system that I'm about to share with you to make more money in a day than most people make in a year. And I've made more money in a year than many people make in their entire lifetime. And here's why you should be paying close attention and taking notes on everything I'm about to tell you, because I'm offering you the chance to get in on the action right along with me. I mean, after all, that is why you're listening to me right now. For me, it's all about having freedom, or a freedom-based lifestyle. Because here's what most humans have in common. We all want to do what we want, when we want, as often as we want. And we don't want to even have to look at price tags. We don't want to obsessively check our bank balances either. But the problem is you're never going to get to experience that awesome lifestyle that I assure you is not just a fantasy unless you accept that it's real and that others are doing it right now. And I know it's real because I've been doing it and living this freedom-based lifestyle for almost 2 decades, and I'm still a pretty young guy at 43 years old. It's probably hard for most people to imagine that starting at the age of 23, I made a decision to live a lifestyle where I could do what I wanted, when I wanted, and price tags and all that are no longer an issue. I mean, that's hard for most people to even believe, but it's very true for me. People that know me, know it's true, and I want to show you what I did early on, even some basic principles I followed and some real simple things that nobody else is showing you. Nobody else on the internet is sharing this kind of information. They make it complicated, as you know. And I'm here to break it down and make it stupid simple and show you that because I'm not that smart. I don't know if I sound smart or not, but you know, I'm really not. My best friends don't think that I'm all that smart. Let's put it that way. I'm absolutely positively committed to helping as many people as I possibly can to live free. So my mission in life is to teach people about a better way of life. My mission is to teach people how to be free. Now, here's what you need to make real money in a home-based business or online business. Number 1, you need an easy-to-reach market that has already proven to spend money, so you already know it's guaranteed that your market spends money on a certain item. For example, my 2 favorite markets, which also happen to be my passion. And that's a hint, go with your passion, do what you're passionate about. Mine is the home-based entrepreneur market, the self-help, personal growth, or personal development, whatever you want to call it. It's an $11 billion a year industry and growing every day, $11 billion a year and growing, and I've done millions in this industry, so I know firsthand how possible all this is and how the system that I'm going to show you works like a clock. The home-based entrepreneur industry is a great market. Even a recent Harris poll says that 72% of all American households are looking for a way to start a home business. 72%. There are over 5 million searches every month just for the keyword, how to make money. From those words, how to make money, and that's just one keyword. And again, I've done millions and millions in this market, so I know it's a great place to be. My family knows it's a great place to be. Now the second thing you need is you need to have some hot selling products, some products or service with real value, where you're really sharing value. Not just trading money with people or a gimmick. Again, real value, and these need to be things that people want and that they are ideally already buying. Once you've identified a hungry market, the next step is to find something to sell them. You need an ongoing offering of products because the more products you offer, the more money you make. One of the world's biggest mistakes you can make is getting involved in something where there is only one product. And after that, you know, after you've sold the product, you've got nothing else to sell them. Or what if the only product you had is something that those people don't want? You want to have another product to be able to show them. Or what if they can't afford one of your products, you want to be able to show them again another product, or what if it's not right for them at this time, then they have nothing to buy from you. And that's a horrible situation to be in. So, you want to have an ongoing offering of many products or services. Not just one. The second criteria, and these are the most important things you could possibly come away with from this, are these 2 things that mean the difference between massive success and mediocre results when it comes to starting your online business. And you'll hear me say this over and over again, and again. If your goal is to make $10,000 a month, if that's your income goal to begin with, and that is a realistic, very achievable income goal. But let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. Which one do you think would be easier to sell? 1,000 products for $10 each, or selling 10 products for $1,000 each? Well, let me tell you, it's hands down no contest. It's much easier to sell 10 products that cost $1,000 each than is to sell 1,000 products for $10 each. So your main products should be a big ticket. And in my mind, my definition of a big ticket is an item that sells for no less than $500. Ideally, a big ticket should be at least $1,000 or more. Big ticket items are the fastest way to get you serious money in your bank. Ever since I can remember, I've always had an instinct to focus on big-ticket items, and even when I wasn't very confident, I could still rely on the same system. And not only do you want to have a big-ticket item, but you want to be sure you're making the lion's share of the money. So you want a big-ticket item with high profit margins. Now, to make sure you're clear on what I mean by that, if you are going to sell a big screen television, and that would be, we'd call that a big-ticket item. It might sell for $2,000, let's say. But if you were to sell that and be paid on commission, you would probably only make about $100. So is it a big ticket? Yes, it meets that criteria, but there is no profit margin. You're not getting the lion's share of the money. You'd have to sell a boatload of those TVs in order to make any kind of money. So what we want to do is switch the numbers around, and we want to use the numbers to our advantage, and the big ticket allows you to do kind of a lousy job of selling something and still make a lot of money, because you make a lot of money per transaction. And that's why big tickets are so important. And the third thing you need, once you found a hungry market and you have products or service to promote, your next step is to create a process to sell the products. And it should be an automated process that sells the product for you. This has been my specialty over the past couple of decades. I've developed these systems that sell products for me automatically without the need for me to personally be involved. And that's where I'm sure you want the same thing. You don't want to personally have to sell. You don't want to have to personally talk to people and answer a bunch of questions and do support. Right? So that's where the systems I've made comes in, and I can even give you my systems, and in some cases I build custom systems for some of the people that I work with and my students. The secret is in the system. You see, I'm not a salesman by any stretch of imagination. I'm actually a very shy person. I would never in a million years feel comfortable trying to sell people products or services, or pestering friends and family, or in any way trying to sell them. That's just not in my nature, and it's not something that I'd be comfortable doing. Yet, I've sold millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of products and services over the years. I've been cranking out multiple six-figure incomes for nearly 2 decades, and I've never done any hotel meetings or house parties. I rarely do any sort of telemarketing or calling people that I don't know. I mean, I tried it a couple of times, didn't like it. And I just don't do prospecting at all. Like those ways that most people don't want to do it. The icky ways that make you just basically give up and say, I'm not doing this. I've never had to do any of that. And that's what I'm going to show you how I do. I don't call people up on the phone and bug them. That's just not me. And that's not even in my DNA. I'm not a salesperson in any way. So for me, the system is the one that does the selling. And the great thing about the system is it always does it perfect. It always gives a perfect presentation every time. So not only am I a little bit on the shy side, but I'm also lazy. I'm just absolutely lazy at some of this stuff. Which means I like to leverage in just about everything. I like to do work one time, and then I expect my system to make money for me 24 hours a day, 365 days a year on autopilot. And I expect it to work like that for others, my students as well, so that when I put in the work it can let you leverage my time or your time. That's why you're listening to this. Now here's the difference about being lazy though. I don't mind working hard to put the system together. And it's hard work. Don't misunderstand that. There's a lot of time, effort, and energy in what I do that goes into building one of these automated systems that is going to work for you. I put, sometimes weeks and months into these systems that you're about to use. And sometimes I plan many years into the future, and I've built online systems that have gone on to work without me for up to 7 years, just cranking out the income without me having to even touch it or look at it or be there. But did I have to work hard to put these systems together? Of course. But once these systems are done, then I can just sit back and I can go off and do the things that I want to do with the people I want, and I get to live that life that just like you want, like everybody wants, and you can do it for as long as you want. You get to live that. Not having to check bank balances type of lifestyle, because my system is hard at work for me. The system does the sifting, the sorting, the telling, the selling, the explaining. It does it perfect every time, and it never complains, and that's the key to the system. It works for you so you don't have to. In fact, the system is how I was able to take almost 2 years off on complete vacation, and the money kept flowing in, all because the system continued to work. It was hard at work even though I wasn't, and it will do the same thing for you because it doesn't just work for me. This works for anybody. My system and my business model had been copied, knocked off and modeled and outright stolen. More than any other system in the industry. And it's responsible for more six-figure incomes in businesses than any other business model or system ever to hit the net. It's that powerful. So that's the exact formula for an online business. You have to have prospects, you have to have stuff or service to sell to them. Those are obviously your products, and you have to have a system to do the selling for you, and that's your process or your system. If any of these big three things are missing, you will fail. And for the brand new person starting out from square one, it's never easy. Let's be honest, starting a business where your goal is to earn 6 figures in a matter of 6 months or in your first year is something that takes work. Of course it does. And it should. And most people are slaving away with a 9-to-5 job, pulling down only $30,000 or $40,000 a year. And we're talking about a system here that could essentially make that, in a month or two, instead of taking you a year to do that, and of course it's going to take work. Either you have to do the work, which means you have to put in the trial and error doing the testing, tweaking, and you have to put the money and the time, the energy and the resources into creating this. Or you have to find someone who already has created a system like this and is willing to let you use their system. And let me tell you, it does not come along often. If somebody contacts me to build a system for them, it's a 6-figure upfront fee and I get a portion of their business. So I get a piece of the gross profits from that business. And that's how much I charge if somebody approaches me to build a system like this for them. Why? Because I know that any system I create is $1 million system. I've never built one that isn't. So here's where this gets really good for you. I'm going to invite you to join me in my 2 favorite most profitable markets. We talked about those just a minute ago, and I'm going to give you the chance to promote ridiculously hot selling products with a proven track record. Plus I'm going to set you up with my exact system so you can have an automated process in place to do all your selling for you. You've got to have that automated selling taking place, and that's exactly what this system is all about, and there are 2 main ways for you to start generating income. Now, number 1 is big ticket money. That's how you get the big bank account. Big ticket equals big bank account every time. But to get to the big ticket, you invite people to a small ticket worth millions, and then offer them a choice for the big ticket. I'm going to give you a resale license that allows you to promote the small ticket system and keep 100% of the profit for yourself. 100% of the profit. And by giving you this, I'm handing you my best-selling business along with my system and my products and tips and programs all combined into that small ticket purchase so that you can make that big ticket money in the back end. Now remember, the system contains some of my best-selling programs, products and courses. All of these products have been sold or are currently selling as standalone products. Meaning people buy these products just for the products, not for a business opportunity, nor for a pay plan. And not because there's any money or commission or opportunity to generate any money or commission. They buy these products simply because of the product value. So you already know these are ridiculously hot selling products of real value. So you can get that big ticket money with these. So you're going to have the opportunity to get payments received, checks for $500, $2,200, $3,500, $6,500, and every day there's no limit to the number of checks you can receive. So think about that for a minute. What would that mean for you financially? What would it feel like if you went to your mailbox, open it up, and instead of pulling out a stack of bills and people wanting to take from you, instead, your mailbox contained packages of checks for thousands of dollars. Here's one for $1,000, here's another one for $2,100, and there's one for $3,500. Just think about that for a minute and feel it. Picture opening the mailbox and holding those checks. What would that do for you and your family right now, and how would the rest of this year turn out? How would that change things from the life you're living right now? That is the power of big ticket income. Again, this is the fastest way I know for anyone to go from an empty bank account to an MBA. That's a technical term for massive bank account, and I can't stress enough the importance of having this in your business model today. If you're looking to generate serious income and an online business, you've simply got to have this element in place, the big ticket. If you're going to be able to go ahead and generate money fast, nothing else compares, because if you're dealing with the smaller ticket products, which some people get this kind of mixed up in their head because they think, oh, it's easy to sell something for $10, right? Well, yes and no. Quite truthfully, the system I've put together can sell something as easily for $10 as it can for $100 as it can for $1,000. The process is the same, but the difference is this. You sell 10 products for $10, you've made only $100. $100 won't even make a single car payment, but for most people, $1,000 is going to make a lot more than one car payment. I'm sure you've seen all these other systems and programs out there on the internet, and if you're smart, you've seen there's fatal flaws in the way they're designed, and those fatal flaws are what ended up leaving you frustrated and leaving you broke and disappointed and feeling discouraged and feeling like things are just never going to work. It never paid off for me. So I decided the only way that I could get past that and feel good about being able to continue on my mission to help people, is to continue to teach people about a better way of life and to equip these people like you with exactly what you need to make that happen. To do that, I decided to replicate my exact business model with my exact system, and I'm basically just going to hand it to you. I'm willing to dip into my pocket, into what could have been my profit, and give you something that will allow you to be successful. Because under normal circumstances, if you're out there and you're involved in someone else's opportunity or their business or their system, typically that person or company that you're selling for, they continue to make all the money on the back end. Typically that's how all those gurus make their money. It's just you have to understand that. And when they don't tell you that and it's just written in the fine print, then I feel like there is something wrong with that. But you know, that's their business model. But truthfully, you're the one doing all the work for them. So I've decided to completely flip it over on its ear and turn everything upside down and share the wealth with you, and for me to reach into my pocket and pull out that money that could have been mine and share it with you. So now, instead of me keeping all the profits, you can share in these profits right along with me. This is pretty darn huge. I don't even know if you can truly appreciate how huge this is, but there's a reason I'm doing it like this, and I'm going to go into that in just a minute. Plus, I'm going to set you up with my system so you can have an automated system to do all the selling for you. Like I was saying, I'm going to replicate my exact business model and I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to replicate exactly what I do and I'm going to turn it on for you. Remember, as I was saying to you before, I'm not a salesperson, and that's why I do need a system to do it for me over and over again and again. That's how I do things. I'm known for my systems. There's no doubt about it. So now you can be set up with the exact same system I use, and the system contains a funnel page, which is the entry point where people are going to find you. You can customize this system with your info. You'll also be able to use the video sales machine. The video sales machine is the primary way to sell the big ticket, and all of these funnels will be customized for you, and they're going to be wrapped with a very professional website, totally customized with your info. It's not just one of those boring replicated cookie-cutter websites that splits out after you join. This is something that is handmade by the best for you to customize. You're not going to be just plugged into some system where you're just a random number. You're actually plugging into a system where a team is running it for you, just like they run my own. Plus you get a customized email autoresponder series that is professionally written. Many of my clients have paid me to write their autoresponders series in the past. I charge a minimum of $20,000 just for that, plus a percentage of the profits that they make from using them. I've already written all that autoresponder copy, and you're going to get all that benefit without paying anywhere close to $20,000, and keep in mind, you're going to get to keep 100% of the profits on all your system sales. So you're probably wondering at this point, can I really do this? I mean, you're probably thinking, hey, this sounds good, and yeah, I want to see those big checks for thousands of dollars. So here's your big question. Can I do this? That's your big question. Well, your main role in this business is getting people to your magnet page. So how do you get people to your magnet page? That would be the obvious question here. Well, great news, I've got you covered. And remember, I'm in this for the long term. My mission is to teach people about a better way of life to help you be free. And the only way I can see doing that is to replicate my business and basically let you get plugged into it. And that's a long-term scenario. I'm not just for people to come buy something from me once and then just disappear. My entire business is built on long-term relationships. I've got customers, students, and just general people that are with me today that have been with me for years literally. And to me that's exciting to have those kinds of long-term relationships and to know I make a difference in those people's lives. And that's what I'm looking for here with you. I want to work with you for many years to come, and the only way that's ever going to happen is if I can make this a win-win situation for both of us, which is why I've worked for the last year to get this one piece of the puzzle on total autopilot and completely ready for you, because we can give you the products and I can give you the system and set it all up. But if you don't have a way to get people to the site, if you don't have a way to generate traffic, then guess what? It's all for nothing. It doesn't matter how great the product is or how great the system is or how great the sales letter is and how great the videos and webinars and teleseminars. All that just doesn't matter if you can't get people to your front door. So I've worked for the last year to put together a total traffic plan that can be customized for you based on your time, your budget, and what you want to accomplish. Because again, we're looking at this from the long-term perspective. And the thing is this, I expect you to do the same. I'm not looking for just anyone to get involved in what I'm offering here. I don't want people who are just looking to get something for nothing. You know the type of people that say to themselves, let me just pay for this and wait for something to show up at my doorstep. Wait for magic to happen, because we all know that's not real. And you'll be better off spending your money on lottery tickets than a business, because with a business, you only get out of it what you put into it. So I'm willing to do most of the heavy lifting for you. I'm willing to plug you into an almost 20-year time-tested and proven system. I've set it all up for you. I put everything in that I personally use and I put it together for you. But you've got to play a role. And if you want to change it all inside, you can. But at this point I'm obviously not sending you out to figure this stuff out on your own. I can show you how to do it. So can you do this? That's the question. Yes, you can send tons of traffic to your magnet page because we now have something for everyone at every budget. And I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Your traffic options range from totally hands-off, everything done for you, totally free, traffic that you can generate it from the comfort of your own home, and everything in between. We've got inside sources that I've worked with since I started online, and I'm going to open these up to you. The bottom line is this, we're going to give you access to a turnkey, hands-off traffic from very trustworthy sources, and we'll set it up. So you'll be able to turn on multiple sources of traffic for yourself whenever you want. I'm going to give you what you need to get the traffic flowing and to get people into your system, and that's your only responsibility in all of this. Your whole role is just going to be to utilize our traffic plan and begin to implement that, and again, we've got something for you to fit whatever budget level you're at. It doesn't matter if you have a lot of money or a little money or no money. I'm going to show you what to do starting from where you are to get the traffic coming in, and you can do it without any experience or any expertise. I've got you covered with this system. Okay, so now you're probably saying to yourself, will this work for me? The answer is definitely, of course it will, because you're going to be getting the exact same system that I use that works for me, my students, and so many of the other people I've built relationships with over the years. This system has never failed. Not even once. It's the closest thing to a sure thing that I can give you. So to the question, will it work for me? The answer to is yes. The only one thing is this, you have to be willing to roll up your sleeves and do the one simple step of plugging into our simple traffic system, and you have to look at it as a serious business. If you'll make that commitment, if you'll just decide that this is where I'm going to put my focus, I'm going to make this work out. This is my long-term commitment. I'm going to create the income, the freedom, and everything I want right here in this. You say to yourself, I'm committed, and you know you've got a solid group of people backing you, a solid team, a solid company with totally solid products that are proven to be popular and using a process that is proven over and over and over, and the training is going to be right here for you to tap into. So you're going to know exactly where to start and where to get going with trustworthy services, resources, and people to help you with that traffic side of this. We're going to show you all that. So the only remaining question is just, will you do it? Are you willing to do what it takes? And if you are, then there's absolutely no reason why you won't be met with great success. So the next obvious question is this: how much will it cost you? You know, you're saying to yourself, okay, this sounds good. I'm ready to go, but how much is this going to cost me? So let's get through that. My goal was to make sure that nobody got left out or excluded because of something they couldn't afford. I hate that. I hate when somebody is excited and they're ready to go and they really want to do it, but the price is just something they can't swing right that minute or at that particular time in their life. And even though I believe we do whatever it takes, if we find what we really want to do, and we will find a way or make a way, I also understand that these are tough times and I want to make sure that nobody is excluded from this because of pricing. That's why the $1 million front-end system comes with a website that's hard-coded to you so that you get paid for everybody that comes through your site and get 100% of the sales. You're going to get access to our getting started traffic resources so you can get the traffic turned on and flowing quick so you can get yourself out of that financial situation you're in. Now, here's where you get serious leverage. When you make just one sale, your system becomes free. The deck is stacked so far in your favor here. I mean, there's no question about it. Everything here has been made so much to your advantage. I want you to live that lifestyle. Do what you want, when you want, with who you want, and never have to check your bank balance kind of lifestyle again. I want you to have that freedom just like most people using this system have. I'm sick and tired of seeing all these things on the internet that I know are just crap and don't make any sense. And they are not real. Things that are totally taking advantage and are stealing people's dreams, and they're stealing people's hope. I want to see you avoid all that. I want you to have something real, and just so you know, I've never had to pick up the phone to do any kind of cold calling or any arm twisting or anything like that. And I'm going to give you my exact same system to plug into and use. I'm going to give you my same products. And again, these are real products. People are actively seeking these products online right now. So you can't get any more legitimate than these products. It's moral, it's ethical, it's honest, and it's got integrity. And the great thing is that it's all done for you and it's all maintained for you, and that you don't have to know anything technical. No FTP, HTTP, CPM, no CRM, no CPC, no PPC. Whatever you don't need to know about, you don't need to know about. We're not going to bother and waste your time. We're going to keep this simple. The websites are already up. Opt-in forms are already in place. You're about to get all the tools that you need. You're about to have a greater advantage than 98% of the people on the internet. All I'm asking you to do is one thing, and that's make a commitment. Make a decision right now and decide that enough is enough. Decide that this is it. Decide that this is the thing for you and this will be your business. Take a stand and tell yourself you're not going to settle for anything less than success. You'll stop jumping from this thing to that thing to the other thing. Be firm with yourself. Tell yourself, I'm going to stop spending money on the latest shiny object or the latest flavor of the week. Decide you're putting all that garbage to the side. You're committed to this business. Listen to me, I want you to wake up for a minute. I want you to think about the fact that you probably work full-time right now, busting your butt 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or 7 to 11, whatever it may be. People are working such crazy hours these days, grinding it out and living life according to other people's demands and other people's schedules. You're probably not happy. You're probably stressed to the max, and you still don't have all the money that you need. The good news is there is a better way. There's a way out for you, and I'm going to give it to you right here. Right now. I'm giving you exactly what you need here. You're not going to need to go and spend $100,000 on a franchise like I've done in the past, and even with the $100,000 franchise, that is certainly no picnic, because when you buy a $100,000 franchise, what you actually just did was you bought yourself a job, because you actually have to show up for that gig. Just like a job. With this system, as long as you commit to making this your business, you can change your life faster than any other way I know possible. This isn't one of those things where you're just crossing your fingers that maybe 5 years from now, your income will grow. I'm talking about right now, starting tomorrow. You can begin to experience change, because the big ticket money inside this system is the type of thing that changes people's lives and income. Now think it. If you're working at a full-time job, just think in terms of, okay, well, if I could make that extra $50,000 a year, if your day job were to tell you that they would, let's say, give you an extra $50,000 a year to do a little something extra at your job, wouldn't it be worth the extra time? Putting this a little bit extra into that one thing they want you to do for an extra $50,000 a year. Wouldn't it be worth doing that little extra thing just so you could get the heck out of that job and have a future? But realistically, you're probably not looking for extra tasks and work at your day job. You're probably up to your neck in stress and things to do at work. So what I'm offering you is to step outside of that whole stressful environment and to step into my environment for a while, because this environment that I work in is so much better than any job you could ever have. Even my friends who are doctors and lawyers and actors and make a whole lot of money, even those high-income earning friends of mine, still ask me about this whole thing, and what I do, and they always have. They ask me lots of questions, because even in their highly sought-after jobs, they are hungry for something where they can be more independent, because right now they know that they're simply trading their time for money, and at a certain point in life people get sick of trading their time for money, and that's when smart people begin to seek out leverage so they can actually get paid whether they show up or not. And with this system, people are making money right now today, and there's no one in the driver's seat. Like, imagine an empty office building that has an armored car backing up multiple times throughout the day, dropping off cash even though nobody's working in the office. That's what we're talking about here, folks. This is your time. Now is the time to take action. You'll find success is where those who are willing to pull the trigger and do the things that average people aren't willing to even try. Don't be one of those average people who settle for mediocrity, long hours and low wages and no freedom. So do yourself a favor. Click the order button or fill out the form to get started right now. The cost of the system I am sharing with you in only $12 a month, paid to the person who introduced you to the system, just like you will get $12 for everyone you will help to discover this system. Inside the system you will find the traffic sources and big ticket item that is the sure path to a better lifestyle. You don't even need to pay the $12 today. The system is so powerful that you are invited to get started and test drive it for 7 days. If you like what you see inside, which I know you will, you can continue as a student at $12 per month. This minute, I want to thank you so much for taking the time and doing something for yourself and going through this information. Do yourself a favor and really think about this and get real with yourself. Seriously. If this isn't the right business for you, then what is? What does the right business look like for you? If this isn't the one, and if now is not the right time, then when will be the right time? Let me tell you, we're in an economy right now that is the perfect storm for horrific things to happen to you financially. It's also the perfect storm for opportunity and incredible things to happen for entrepreneurs and beginners in the world of online marketing who are looking to take control of their futures. This is one of the most lucrative times where you can become a part of this industry, because this industry and this market has come to you in times of uncertainty in the financial world. So do yourself a favor and get started, and do it now. Thanks again, and may God richly bless you and all that you do.